Welcome to another episode of Another Lecture. I'm Professor Alexei, and joining me today is our insightful doctoral student, Priyanka.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today our focus is on a poignant event in aviation history, the 2025 mid-air collision between PSA Airlines Flight 5342 and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter over the Potomac River.
To frame this topic, let's consider the intricacies of airspace navigation as managing a crowded marketplace. Much like coordinating the flow of people in such a place, pilots and air traffic controllers must navigate a complex system, laden with rules and routines, to ensure safe travel through congested skies. In this context, our task today is to demystify terms such as air traffic control and the TSIS, Traffic Collision Avoidance System, laying groundwork for the tragedies unfolding.
It's crucial because a lot rides on these systems working smoothly. Lives, obviously, but also the broader implications for how civilian and military flights share our airspace safely. It's not just about one event, but kind of how all these pieces work together.
Indeed. The stakes involve not only the safe passage of flights, but also the military-civilian coordination essential in such heavily regulated airspaces. Historically, misunderstandings have often arisen from the labyrinthine nature of air traffic management. What's necessary is a deep appreciation for the proficiencies required to steer through high-density areas, such as those found around Reagan National Airport.
Speaking of Reagan National, it's uniquely congested and restricted due to its security concerns. PSA Airlines Flight 5342 used a Bombardier CRJ-70, a regional jet that fits perfectly in the American Eagle network's aim to connect smaller markets. The helicopter involved was a Sikorsky A-60L, often used actually for executive military transport.
Chronologically speaking, on January 29, 2025, the Sikorsky helicopter commenced its training flight from Davison Army Airfield. Later that day, the CRJ-70 departed from Wichita. It was approaching Reagan National when the collision tragically unfolded over the Potomac River at precisely 8:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have always held a keen interest in aviation safety, tracing back to the advent of international travel and its transformative impact on human mobility and culture. The technology behind navigation systems and air traffic protocols fascinates me, and I believe it's vital we strive for continuous improvement.
I'm curious, about the impact of the TCS system during the incident. How did its limitations come into play?
Theoretically speaking, TCS systems are designed to alert pilots of potential mid-air collisions by issuing a series of advisories. However, in dense airspaces, especially those near major hubs like Reagan, the efficacy of TSIS might be constrained due to the sheer volume of nearby aircraft, necessitating heightened vigilance and manual intervention by crews.
So maybe a follow-up question. How often do these systems fail and what are typical constraints?
It's important to understand. While TSIS is generally reliable, its performance is not infallible, particularly in unique or high-pressure situations. Constraints include network density and the potential for miscommunication or delayed responses, raising the demand for highly skilled human intervention.
And then with the FAA leader Mike Whitaker's resignation just before the crash, there could be implications, right? Does such administrative change affect procedural response?
In any administrative structure, particularly within regulatory bodies like the FAA, leadership transitions naturally test organizational resilience. However, systemic continuity is typically ensured by deeply ingrained protocols and practices that transcend individual roles, securing operational integrity across varying circumstances.
Finally, our last big question: what's happening now in managing airspace congestion? Any new technologies or strategies?
Precisely. Research into advanced automation and artificial intelligence is progressively shaping the future of airspace management. Innovations aim at optimizing air traffic flow, predictive maintenance, and risk mitigation, all crucial, as we endeavor to construct a framework resilient enough to avert future catastrophes.
It makes me wonder what future technologies could really change how we think about air traffic management.
In conclusion, today's discussion on the PSA Airlines Flight 5342 and U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter collision has illuminated many facets of aviation safety, from technical systems like TSIS to the synergy of administrative protocol and technological advancement. This logically leads us to broader considerations about innovations in crisis management and airspace control.
Thank you, Professor Alexei, and thank you all for listening. We appreciate your time and curiosity.
Do join us for our next episode. where we'll further delve into the fascinating world of aviation. Until then, let's continue exploring the skies.